A giant baby, a baby with a misshapen head, and the 300 teeth baby. These are the 10 most unusual babies in the world. Number 10, baby with no nose. The first child on this list was born without a body part many would consider highly vital to living an average life, but this baby survived nonetheless. Tessa Evans from Megara was born with a rare birth defect called congenital arynia, which causes babies to be born without a nose or sense of smell. Tessa's condition was so severe that her parents had to agree to a brand new procedure in hopes of making her life easier. Tessa received a 3D printed implant to go under the skin to give her the shape of a nose and will undergo a tattoo procedure to make the lump look like it has the natural contours of a typical nose. So by the time she stopped growing, she'll look like your average human being. Although this will make it look like she has a nose, her parents are still concerned with the potential loss of instincts that come with a sense of smell. Number 9, fish baby. This Chinese child was given the name Fish Boy when he was born with a rare skin condition that gives him scales all over his body. The fish boy is constantly itchy and has limited mobility, which has led to a significant loss in his quality of life. Sadly, this is an incurable disease, which means this child will have to live with this condition and its many downsides for the rest of his life. The little boy named Pan only finds relief from countless medical creams and cold water due to his thick scales, preventing him from being able to sweat, which means his body has a very hard time cooling down. While a cure for this limiting disease has yet to be discovered, Pan's parents are holding out hope that one day their son may be able to live a full and healthy life. Number 8, redhead triplets. As if twins and triplets weren't already rare enough, this set of 3 kids brings rarity into a whole new definition. Born in 2017, Macy, Toby, and Sadie were triplets born with a similarity that shocked the world. The chances of having triplets are already 1 in 10,000, but these 3 were all born with red hair as well. Redheads only make up 1 to 2% of the population. With a similarity like this, it's safe to say that these triplets are among the rarest in the entire world. The chances of a combo like this are so rare it's hard to even quantify. But let's just say that the chances of having a group of triplets like this are close to 1 in 100,000. I'm so bewildered that a combination like this even exists. Macy, Toby, and Sadie are now 5 years old and continuing to shock those around them with their insane rarity. I can't imagine that it's easy to tell these kids apart with a combination of being identical triplets and all being redheads. If you think these were unusual, things are about to get weirder. Keep watching to see what's next. Number 7, world's smallest baby. The next baby on our list is known as the world's smallest child in all of history. Meet the one and only Charlotte Garside. When Charlotte was born, she weighed a mere 1.1 pounds. For reference, the average child is born at a weight between 5 and 8 pounds. She was also only 10 inches long, which is just under a foot long. That's smaller than a Subway sandwich. Due to how abysmally small she was born, Charlotte was not expected to live past the age of 1. As recent as this year, sources have confirmed that due to her size, Charlotte is suffering from severe health deterioration. There are several rumors that Charlotte has unfortunately passed away, but her family has not yet come forward to confirm or deny these rumors. When Charlotte was born, there had yet been a case like hers and was diagnosed as a case of severe dwarfism. We hope Charlotte is still alive and makes a recovery soon. It'd be such a shame for such a unique child to pass away. Number 6, real-life Benjamin Button. Born in Megara in 2012, the next child on this list is known around the world as the real-life Benjamin Button. In case you're too young to remember, Benjamin Button was a movie that depicted a baby born as an old man and aged backward into a baby. But little do people know that the movie is based on a real condition that was later titled Benjamin Button disease, based on the hit film. Bayezid Hussein was a child born with this very condition. Bayezid's condition causes him to age at 8 times the normal rate, which means he currently lives inside the body of a 70-year-old man. It's currently predicted that this boy will not live past the age of 13 years old, due to many kids with the same condition experiencing heart attacks as they enter their teenage years. Bayezid is a real-life Benjamin Button and a total anomaly compared to other babies around the world. We feel so bad for his poor parents. Number 5, misplaced brain Bentley. We don't even think a condition like this was even possible until this baby came around. It's going to sound hard to believe, but trust me, it's real. Little Bentley is a baby who was born with a very rare birth defect that caused his brain to form over his skull. That's right, instead of his brain being inside his skull, it was formed atop the skull. So now his head has a whole extra space for his brain to be. You can probably imagine how dangerous a condition like this is with such a vital organ in such a vulnerable position. What if he fell off his bike? He wouldn't be able to wear a helmet. Due to this vulnerability, Bentley's parents took a risk and got him a procedure to move his brain from where it was into his brain where it's supposed to be. Thankfully, the procedure went very well, and Bentley can go on to live his life without worry. Number 4. 4 arms and 4 legs. Paul Makusa is a baby born with a condition that we have never seen before in our entire lives. He's a total anomaly to the human race. Born in Uganda in 2014, Paul was born to a 28-year-old mother, coming out of the room with 4 arms and 4 legs. Paul was born with a total of 8 limbs. He was diagnosed with parasitic twinning shortly after, a disease that causes twin babies to meld into a single being. Paul was required to go through surgeries to remove the 4 extra limbs, as they would have severely hindered his ability to live and would lower his quality of life. What made these procedures difficult is the fact that the extra limbs were attached with extra joints, so the procedures were not very easy and took a lot of work. Not only are they removing the extra limbs, but they're also removing the parasitic twin altogether. We always thought extra limbs were something only found in cartoons, but Paul proved all of us wrong. Starting out, things get even weirder. Keep watching until the end. Number 3, baby with misshapen head. Matthew Buller is another child on this list who is born with quite an abnormal head shape, but he takes over the others on the list for a plethora of reasons. Matthew's parents didn't realize he was born with a legitimate birth defect until his 2-month checkup at the doctor, where he was diagnosed with craniosynostosis. The shock finally settled in for the parents when the boy's doctor said, "Don't take this lightly. I want to refer you to a neurosurgeon at Texas Children's Hospital." The condition caused his skull to fuse to the back of his head far too early in life, giving his brain nowhere to grow and constricting it. In order to save Matthew's life, doctors needed to go in and perform surgery on the skull to remove the bad bone and be kept under strict supervision afterward while the brain helps form new bone on the skull that hopefully won't turn out as bad. Doctors say it's incredibly important to catch a condition like this early on in order to keep the child alive, as it causes high pressure within the brain. Thankfully, the procedure was successful and Matthew's life was saved. Number 2, the 300 teeth baby. John Chris Carl Carante from Cebu was born with a condition that severely affects the inside of his mouth, and his parents didn't discover it until he was in the 4th grade. The rare birth defect that young John Chris was born with left him with a lot more teeth than the average human has ever had in their lifetime, about 10 times more. When John Chris reached the 4th grade, his mother began to notice extra teeth growing into his mouth next to the ones he already has. Being unable to afford a real dentist for their son's early years, John Chris's mother decided to save up for a trip to the dentist, where he was diagnosed with this crazy birth defect that grows around 300 teeth in his mouth, which is 10 times more than the average adult human. John Chris is currently undergoing countless teeth removal procedures to prevent any potential gum or teeth disease in the future. Number 1, giant baby. Not only does this baby have a crazy physical abnormality, but they've got a name we've never heard of before as well. Baby girl Shahat suffers from exponential weight gain that has not shown any signs of stopping, making her abysmally heavier than typical child her age. She requires a gene test to decipher exactly what's making her gain so much weight. What makes matters worse is the fact that her parents are working a barely livable wage, which means they're unable to afford the proper treatment to help their little girl return to a healthy life. The continued weight gain is going to cause more problems for her health in the future unless treated properly. She's currently over double the weight of her peers and continuing to grow, but a single test would cost their family what they called a fortune, and they're now relying on charity money to help guide their daughter into treatment. While the baby girl's treatment seems to have hit a roadblock at the moment, we can only hope with her parents that the charity money will be enough to cover the costs of treatment and keep Shahat from developing further health problems. Enjoyed the video? Now watch this one.